Jane Marquez. I've been a psychotherapist of Baron. But today, what I would want to encourage you as the family, you know that Baron has been in rehabilitation and is progressing very well. So to avoid relapses are whereby someone can go back to some habits if he's not supported. So a family has to come in because it's like my work is done in the hospital. So it's now your turn. However, I can be backing you when you need me. So the most important support that you need is to keep on encouraging Baron to do his core activities rather. Praying together with him, looking at him as the former Baron that you knew, not the former Baron you knew when he was always high, because he's very new. You don't need to always tell him sarcastic words. He's a very new person. He has rights to everything that a family has to offer.
Meet the Tumwevazes. Frank Tumwevaze is the managing director and proprietor of Water Solutions, a company that he formed and that deals mainly in supplying borehole pumps, generators, solar power for industries, and home appliances, among other things. Rose Tumwevaze is a pastor and starting businesswoman. Together, they have 4 children and live in a quiet neighborhood in Mutungo. On the surface, you would think that this is a perfect family. But life would have it that they face one of the most trying time in their lives because of drug abuse by a member in the family. This is Baron's story.
I never expected that he would get involved into that.
We used to play. We are very good friends.
They even brought badminton and we used to play chess, like board games, and snakes and ladders.
He used to say he would be a medical doctor or what, or an engineer. But all of a sudden, things started changing.
Baron started abusing substances from as early as primary 5 and later started narcotics drugs in secondary school. It took over 6 years to notice that something was amiss.
Started with spirits. I kept on drinking until my vacation. During my vacation, that's when I started learning other drugs like marijuana, there is Kuban, Mirage. So I used to test a bit. By that time I was testing.
That's the time when he backslided in academics, and we were requested that he should repeat. And then at that age, of course, with others and the financial crisis and all that, then I asked the mother, should we accept this and all this? Then we were like, no, let's not accept this. Let's take him to another school. We try and push him so that he can be able to complete the O-level at a certain good age. But I think out of that backsliding, I would imagine, I'm not so sure that could have been the beginning of the drugs.
I went on learning other drugs. There is opium, which I can sniff. There is office glue that also can act as a drug.
It was a shock when we were there at one afternoon. He told us, for him, he started this thing 6 years ago. So when I considered 6 years ago, it went up to almost almost after P7. Is it true that he was taking these things in the seminary? We didn't know.
In your school, are there many people who use drugs?
In fact, in my school, there are I think there are pretty many. But then the administration doesn't know about it. many losing syndrome, you see, just because now when I go near, like close to the dustbins, I find some barrels of alcohol. And I really wonder, in such a school where there's all that spiritual metamorphosis and all that such a thing can happen. Tell me, the devil is alive.
So he said you go to Budo. Are there other people also who use drugs there?
Yeah, there are very many, my classmates. But then I tell them what happened to my brother, and they're like, maybe he took it in excess.
They don't
think it's a problem. They carry it to school. They arrested some boy at school for bringing in alcohol for his friends on VD, but they don't learn.
In the real beginning, I was putting him to schools that have a Catholic setup. What I would say, Baron was brought up from seminaries, because he was in Nswanjere Seminary, which was a primary, up to P7. He passed well. Then I took him to Nyenga Seminary. Seminaries bring up kids in that disciplinary environment, and you find they are super in everything, academics.
By the time I finished my senior 4, I didn't perform well. Yeah, I didn't perform well due to the drugs, because I reached a time the time we were sitting for the finals. I used to drink before I go to the paper. Like when I have mathematics today in the morning, I go behind the toilets, I take some drink or I smoke some weed.
So many times when he comes back from school, he starts moving from friend to another one. We don't know where he has eaten, I don't know. That's why he started all those habits.
Some of these drugs could not, they never had a strong scent. So I could come in with my drug in the pocket, take my drug in the bedroom. I could sometimes hide, I could close my bedroom, inject myself heroin or take cocaine. Then after I come out, they never knew. I made all the things clear. No scent, no what, but I was doing things normally. Yeah, they came to realize maybe it was alcohol, it had a strong scent.
I know mukwano we Jackson nubabire natuma yakora ebyo ahabo kube mukwano mbine kureta n'icyo utakwenda gukora.
And you could hear something smelling, something funny smelling, but you say maybe he's not washing. I said, you people go back and bathe. You maybe something is you have taken long without bathing. As boys, sometimes they hide, they don't want to bathe. And then, but that things will, every time whenever he enters, you feel something smelling. This is what is it. And I tried to check in his things, check around. Then I saw like a polythene. Then I asked the sister, what's this? She said it is Mimi in Jaga.
When did you first of all notice that your brother started using drugs?
No, I didn't notice. I was told by the housemaid. She told me that your brother is not fine because he goes to the toilet and he drinks the things from there, drinks the drugs and everything.
Urayatandika kugamba we ngo urayatandika kusheka busho urayatandika kukuramze hatore baki.
So at one time he told me, Daddy, you know, for me, I sport in exams. You sport? You are in a boarding school? What do you mean you sport? You don't have time to read? But I became rough and he said, some of these things bore me, and then said, things bore you? In a boarding school, I'm paying over 600,000. Everything is there, teachers and everything. You know, you're telling me things bore you. So should we get out of school? And what I said, yeah, Daddy, me, I want to be a DJ. I collapsed.
like midnight. He called me, Maggie, I'm in town. And I said, what can I do? Imagine someone is calling you, I'm going to tell you, see you tomorrow. Because they have hired me to do my DJ work. And then when he came back, he said this money was stolen. And he came back in the morning. You imagine, like a parent, how do you feel? Someone is telling you that he's in town and you don't expect him, even you not see him, and you don't know where he is. And he's a DJ, you know, those people, sometimes they fight from there, you don't know whether he's in a tunnel, you don't know whether he's alive, you don't know. And I felt like, now what can I do? He's mine, he's mine, I cannot give it to someone, he's my own firstborn boy.
First I felt like crying. Most especially the first time they told me he's at Butarika, I was like, it came to this. So I was not well, but I had to keep strong. I wanted to cry because I've never seen my brother like that. I knew him as a strong person, never gets sick, always fine. But I had to move on.
Particularly financially, what costs have you incurred as a family?
It's a bit difficult to put together, but
the first time when you were admitted in the private, it was too much. Yeah,
that was
like $1 million.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I tried to move. I was taking food every day because he was like, "Mommy, I cannot take a portion." And since we wanted him to be there, not moving around, coming back. And that's why I said I'm going to try my level best, make sure he gets food from here, then I will take food every time. And afterwards, we are getting a new school, plus requirements and whatever. It took like also like 1.5.
Yeah, you see, I think it's true. We might not know the real costing of that. But when you start from like the money we lost at school when he was doing nothing, you know that one is also part of that. You pay school fees in the town. For him, he's very busy. Smoking, he doesn't back home, and then
send me some money.
Yeah. So
and then the money you send.
Yeah, the money
is taking using.
Yeah, and then also the other issue I talked about is saving. You know, I've lost a bed sheet. My mattress is stolen. How can a mattress be stolen? So sometimes it comes back to home without anything, from seat to bed to books and all that. So all that, if you put it together, it's actually a lot. Then the drugs, then the stress, and then that time you deliver food. You deliver food, you know, every breakfast with lunch and all that, you know, and then it's a lot. It's a bit difficult to put down, but it's a lot.
My father had lost hope in me. He thought that I couldn't change. He thought that this boy is wasted. I don't need even to pay for him school fees. That's affected me, but it affected him more than me. Then to my parents, to my mother, she never lost hope. That's great. That's the only person I had that had to help me throughout the family and to advise other family members. So it also affected my brothers and sisters. Seeing me drunk, coming back in the morning, coming back when I'm drunk. I've lost all my properties that I went with.
The climax of Baron's drug abuse came at 20 years of age, when one day he came home battered and in dire need of medical attention. An ordeal his entire family will never forget.
What did he tell you when he came and were in that mood? What did he tell you?
He told
you what?
He told me that 4 guys had jumped on him, and then they tried to battle up with him, so he also fought his way out and took off.
Lost the phone and the wallet.
And the phone, wallet, like a lot of money.
Please help me tell mommy that I really need to go to the hospital and my tooth and everything. He explained to me, here is hurting, there. Just tell mommy that this and this, the tooth is falling out.
And that day he came when he was wild. That day the clothes are like torn. Then the sister wanted to clean him. I had a visa somewhere. Then he tried to push them and tried to fight.
We had to lock the gate. He wants to get out. He tells us, leave me alone, I'm going to beat you. But that was my worst moment. I don't want to even remember that day. It was very scary. I could hardly sleep.
It was so threatening. I felt small.
Support do you think we as hospital Tarika we can still offer Baron?
Just keep encouraging him, because sometimes you feel like he's thinking about you feel like taking again. That's the big problem we're having, is like I feel like taking it. That's the thing. I don't know how we are going to go about it.
That's very good. Actually, you are even blessed that he can tell you the way he feels. Yeah, so if he tells you the way he feels, the support you have to give him, you have to assure him that those are feelings. The fact that being that he's an addict, those feelings will always come back. So what you have to help him is to make sure that he's always having something to eat with him. Yeah, you can give him snacks. For example, dinners, biscuits, juice. So that those feelings are suppressed. Yeah. Exactly.
But sometimes he feels alone. So he needs somebody to tell him, we are by your side, we are going to be with you. We do that, but then, I don't know. I think sometimes.
So Baron, how would you want them to help you in this journey?
They should help me as they advise me. And if I go wrong, they should tell me. They should be frank and they tell me, you know what, brother, you're going astray. Stay focused. Family is the first thing that can help you.
It is about time we inform ourselves of the identifying factors of addiction and learn of ways we can help people with the characteristics of an addiction disease. Let us reach out and stop the stigma towards addiction patients.
One bad thing I've seen with drugs, you remain in a like you're in a prison. You are there, you want to get out, but you don't have somebody to get you out, and you continue on that line. That was his position.
How is home?
Home is okay.
How are your parents?
They are fine. They are so happy to see me changing.
Do you have any complaints so far? Which challenges do you meet out there? We can't rule out the fact that you've been an addict. Craving can go forever. That one, you know it. So I want to know when you crave. I'm not saying you're craving every day, you get, but I believe you, as a person who has been smoking for a very long time, that craving must be coming. So what do you do if it comes?
Now for smoking, it normally comes in the morning, or it comes when the weather has changed, whether it can be cold, it can be sunny. If it comes, I can take a cup of tea.
There you go.